Hey, University Tees. My name is David Rubenstein, and I'm applying to be a campus manager for Cornell University. Um, so, at Cornell, I'm involved in a fair number of groups and organizations, but my main organization is Delta Upsilon International Fraternity, which I've been a part of since I was a freshman. And I've served on the e-board now twice, first as a house manager, and I will now be moving on to new member education. I'm also a member of Cayuga's Watchers, which is a student-run nonprofit, and we specialize in professional sober monitoring services. So we show up to fraternity, sorority, a cappella, really any campus organization that's throwing an event where there's going to be alcohol served, and we show up and we make sure everyone's being safe and that no one feels uncomfortable. So our services are pretty invaluable to both the community, and I think it's something that maybe should be enacted across the country. I'm also a member of the IM Sports League, and I play for my fraternity. I've played on the soccer team, and most recently I was in the bowling tournament. Other campus involvement, I also worked for Big Red Shipping and Storage, which is a student-run shipping and storage service, and they will basically show up at your place, pack up all your stuff at the end of the year, and store it away securely and return it to you next year. So those are some of the groups I'm involved around on campus. Why I think I'd be a successful campus manager. For one, I'm very reliable and hardworking, so I'd be very dedicated to the job. I realize that you get to make your own hours working for universities, which is great because I have a very busy schedule between school and fraternity involvement, so that's very nice. I'm also a friendly guy, pretty nice to people, generally very personable, so I think that qualifies me for the job. I also know a lot of people around campus, and not just necessarily in Greek life. I have friends in the engineering school. I have friends that work for Cornell EMS. I know people from both working as Cayuga's Watcher and Big Red Shipping and Storage, and then I obviously meet people through the intramural sports. But generally, I'm a good, hard worker and a good employee, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help increase University T's presence on Cornell's campus. So I think the list of groups and organizations I would work with to start are definitely those four that I named that I'm involved with. It'd be really easy for me to get my fraternity on board using University T's service. We don't have like a dedicated service that we use, and our apparel just is very up in the air from year to year. Similarly, I have friends in other houses, so I would be able to reach out to them. That would be my first step. It's probably easier to reach out to fraternities because their apparel is less involved than sororities. My girlfriend is in Alpha Epsilon Phi at Cornell, and I know that they have a very strict apparel ordering process, and they actually have a social e-board position dedicated to apparel. So I could reach out to them, but I think in terms of gaining business from other organizations, fraternities are definitely easier. That being said, I think IM Sports is also a very strong opportunity because there's so many different sports and they happen at all times of the year, and the winners and losers and champions are constantly changing, so there's a lot of opportunity there to create lots of apparel and gain lots of business. Similarly, both Cayuga's Watchers and Big Red Shipping do create some apparel for their employees and for some advertising purposes. So I think those would be good resources as well. In terms of how I would actually gain their business, like I said, I'm pretty personable, so I would most likely reach out to them by email. If I run into them on campus, I could start talking to them about it. And if you guys hired me, I would presumably have a better understanding of why University Tees is particularly special, or why your services would be particularly useful for said organizations. Additional personal info. I've been working for many years, so I know what it takes. I started a yard and lawn care service with some friends when I was in high school. I then did construction. I've worked for bigger shipping and storage, like I said. Cayuga's Watchers, lots of work for my fraternity in general. So I don't necessarily like working, but I value the experience, and I'm particularly motivated when there's a paycheck involved. Additional info to know me better. I'm trained in classical piano and have been playing for over 10 years at this point, though my playing has subsided a little bit since getting to school. That brings me to another organization I could reach out to. There's a bunch of a cappella groups on Cornell's campus, like some huge number, and I know people in multiple of those organizations, and I think that's another good opportunity for University Tees. Personal info: favorite flavor of ice cream is Ben & Jerry's Half Baked. Some of my favorite games are pool and foosball. And yeah, I'm super excited to hear back from you guys, and I hopefully will get to work for you. Thank you very much.